Alright, what is up guys? Gonna try something a little bit different here with this video. Um, Basically just actually gonna talk about some stuff with Tekken. I've been playing a bunch of Tekken over the last almost a year or so. I think March will be a year since I started playing Tekken 7 properly, and now obviously Tekken 8 has just come out a couple days ago, and I've been playing a bunch of that, just trying to grind really and see what we can do in the game. I guess I definitely just want to talk about my experiences as a beginner in the game. Like, Tekken as a game is definitely super hard to even learn, interact with, let alone getting good at the game. And I think it would be such an interesting thing to just talk about my experiences from going from being a noob to actually being slightly competent at the game. Because finally, I'm happy to say today I just got Garyu rank in Tekken, so that's the first red rank in Tekken uh, on uh, on a new character actually. Well, I was playing. I used to play a bit of Raven in Tekken 7, and then I played Raven again in Tekken 8 as it just came out. But a couple days ago, I was like, I need to take a break from Raven. Let me just play some Li Xiaolan, and let me tell you, playing Li is was literally just that was it. The game just clicked for me, and for some reason, I started playing so much better. Just started loving it, loving it. I was like, I went through his move list and just playing around with it, and then I see Acid Rain, and I'm talking to my boys, and they're all like, "Oh, this is the best, one of the best punishes in the game." And I try it, and I'm like, "Whoa, this is literally just a rhythm game. It's just a rhythm game playing Lee because with all of his just frames." So I try it, and within like literally like half an hour, I'm hitting just frames in in game. I'm hitting Acid Rain in game. Barely haven't played this character. I'm like fucking hell. I've got to try and actually like learn this guy. Like, and I for some reason like it clicked with me playing Lee. I just started playing Tekken like way better than I ever played before. Ever played on Raven, which is crazy to me. Um, so in terms of playing Tekken 7, I actually played Tekken 7 for like, I guess, about 400 hours, 400, nearing 500 hours of Tekken 7, and it was pretty bad experience. Like, I would just be lost after lost, like complaining about so much stuff, like it's not even fun. I eventually did get to orange rank in at the end of Tekken 7, and then just called it a day. But finally, I've surpassed that in Tekken 8, which is great. Like, I've surpassed where I used to be in 7, and now I'm getting there in 8 now. And although red rank isn't like the craziest rank, it definitely means something to me, that's for sure. Okay, so I guess let's move on to sort of my progression coming into 8. So playing Tekken 8, played a bit of Raven. Was having fun with Raven. I really loved playing Raven in 8 for sure. But then I was like, I need to take a break from Raven. Like, I've been playing way too much, burning myself out, playing Tekken 8 already. Even though it's still fresh, I was like, I'm playing catch up with all these people that have know so much about the game. Let's just take a chill pill. Let's play some League because he's cool, he's stylish, he got the dog in him. He's doing cool moves. And then yeah, like as soon as I started labbing him, I was like, this character kind of goes crazy. Started hopping into games, and for some reason, like the character just flowed. Like Lee just chose me, and I think I'm on day 5. I'm on day 5 of playing Lee, and day 5 I get red rank on Lee. Like it was crazy, but I think literally the first 2 days I went from beginner or like green to orange in the first 2 days playing Glee, barely knowing the character, and then I just got stuck in orange. I think there's just so many people in that rank where it's like you don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're mashing buttons, they're doing gimmicks, they're doing these like gimmicky like flowcharts, and you're gonna lose a lot. Like you will just lose a lot, and you have to sort of adapt to that. You sort of have to solidify your game plan in order to climb up that rank. I guess the next part of this video would be how to actually get out of, I'd say, how to get out of orange rank, how to climb to red rank, how a noob like me, a beginner, a fairly new beginner to Tekken as a whole, how you can get through orange rank and eventually into red rank, just like I did. I don't have the greatest skill in the world, but I hope that I can keep learning, keep getting better at the game. But for the guys out there that are like, oh, I'm stuck here, I don't know what to do, hopefully I can give you a few tips based on my experience. This isn't gospel, this is just my experience of playing Tekken 8 and seeing what I could achieve and how to sort of go about doing it. So I've written a couple of things down, to be fair. So the things that I've learned trying to climb through from yellow and orange into red is you should focus on making your layer 1, having a game plan down, having a few gimmicks that people will not be able to figure out in that rank, having a few flowcharts, but being able to run that layer 1 is very important. Sort of leads on to my second thing though, which is knowing when to stop flowcharting, knowing when to look at your opponent and seeing what they're doing and seeing if they're adapting to your layer 1, and then from there you can start mixing up what you're doing. The third point would be to just go through your move list and understand the things your character does, understand your strong moves, understand your low pokes and stuff like that, and understand your frame data of your important moves. So I guess a thing from my experience that I've picked up on is I actually need to learn my frames of my character. So I think punishment is pretty important. So learn your 10 frame punishes and learn your 15 or 16 frame launches, because there'll be a lot of lows that people will throw out that are launch punishable. You should be able to launch them and smoke them for that. So that's important. And then with 10 frame punishes, if you don't know how minus something is, just punish it with a 10 frame string and you're good. At least you know that it's punishable. Also, I think it's good to know that some strings on block push you back quite far, but some of them could still be punishable. So it's good to go through your move list and figure out what moves have long range that are also fast. So, for example, Raven's down back 2-1 is 13 frames, and it punishes our long range. With Lee, he has down forward 4, which is fairly fast, but that again is used to punish at long range. So that was quite important for me to learn as I was trying to get through orange. I'm trying to think of more things maybe that I had to learn as I was playing the game. I think definitely using jab to get your turn back. Jab is +1, so that was a huge thing. Jabbing to interrupt your opponent's flowchart and then trying to reapply your layer 1, your flowchart was huge. Knowing when to jab, and also another thing, crouching jabs, or formerly known as down jab or informally known as dick jab, the crouching jab is probably one of the best moves, best normal moves in the game from my experience, because people are using that in orange and up to interrupt your layer 1 big time. So learning how to dick jab is crazy. Leading on to that though, I learned that dick jabs are low parryable because they count as special lows. Special lows you can low parry in Tekken. So you have to be able to distinguish the difference between lows and special lows, and just be mindful of that. I think a last thing definitely is to keep your mental in check. You have to realize that when you're in orange rank or yellow, or below, or even maybe who knows red. In red, there's probably people doing like silly stuff as well. I can imagine because I've been playing against more red players as I was growing up, and people are gonna do wacky shit. You're gonna get hit by it, especially if you're a beginner, and because you don't know what those moves are. And it's about exposure. It's about looking at what the character's doing on the screen. And if you lose, if you get hit by something, just go and use the replay feature. Just go and lab it because that's the only way you'll get better. And the next time you're in that situation, you'll be able to counter it. You'll be able to block it. You'll be able to duck that high string. You'll be able to be prepared to block low on someone's string. Like, don't get annoyed by constantly being blown up by stuff. Just if you recognize a string that you're being abused with, just lab it. Just look at the replay, look at what you could have done, try out the scenario within the replay lab, and you'll be able to get it down. Like you definitely can, because that's what I did, and that definitely stopped me from tilting as much. I definitely tilted like a lot towards red because I think I just put it on a pedestal of I must get this rank, otherwise I'm not good. But the reality is, like, you're not even playing Tekken until you get to like Fujin rank, because that's where all the good players are. So, just stay humble and realize that you're still learning the game as you progress. Even if you are getting better, you're still learning. Even the people at the top, they're still learning, So don't be too hard on yourself if you happen to lose. I'd say a next thing is if you are losing, like it's fine, it's part of the process. Like losing is part of the process. When you are climbing, you're gonna eventually lose. Like that's how ranked works. Like it's trying to force a 50% win rate. Like you're gonna win a bunch, you're gonna lose a bunch, but it's within the losses that you learn how to win. Like that's a huge thing that I didn't realize. The more you lose, the more you learn. Like you don't learn when you win. Winning just proves that you did something the opponent didn't know, or that you're starting to do new things that at that rank people aren't getting a handle of. That's it really. Like obviously like winning is great, it feels good, but it doesn't necessarily always show improvement. It could just be that within where you were playing, people are just not used to your knowledge checks yet. Um, and it's probably going to be the same once I boot up Tekken again and I play in red, and some of the stuff I was doing is not going to work, but from my experiences I'm going to lab some stuff. I'm definitely going to lab a bunch before I even think about playing ranked, because there's a lot of stuff with Lee that I need to lock in, get combos down, stuff like that, so um, I'll definitely be in the lab a bunch before I start trying to grind again. I think lastly, just have fun with it. Part of the process is having fun, just being there within the moment, just playing the game. If you lose, move on. If you win, play, lock in, play another game. Like that's it. Like just keep playing. Eventually you'll get there. Like especially for a beginner, you're gonna have to put like time into the game in order to get to the point where you want to get to. After all, like Tekken's a legacy game. Like you'll have to you'll have to be able to put the time in, because there's a lot of shit that if you're a beginner you don't know, but there's people that have been playing this game for like 10 years plus, and they know the shit that you never would have thought was possible. So if you're a beginner, you are playing catch up, but don't be disheartened because it's a new game and even the veterans are learning along with us. So it's all good. It's all good. Just gotta have fun with the game, vibe, pick a character you like, mash some buttons. But if you're serious about getting better, then hopefully you take some of this advice and hopefully it works for you. But this whole thing was just me rambling about my experience, I guess. So I think a final thought is, in terms of keeping your mental in check, is just to not compare yourself to the people around you. Like, there's gonna be people that are better than you always. Try not to get too caught up in what they're doing. Just play your game. Track your own progress. You'll definitely get there. Um, as long as you're doing better than yesterday, that's fine. Some days you'll have better days where you're playing really well. Some days you'll have shit days where you're just playing bad. But it's the days where you push through, the shit days where you'll suddenly things will click and you'll suddenly get better as long as you're thinking about what you're doing. Um, I think that's okay, honestly. So yeah, I guess I can just sort of go on a little bit about like my goals for Tekken 8. Mostly it's just to learn and have fun, honestly, because the game is so deep and there's so much to learn that you need to just enjoy like getting beat up quite a bit, especially by stronger players. You're gonna get knowledge checked, you're gonna get beat up, but that's the process of learning. Have fun when you're learning and enjoy finding out new things because it's a tough process for sure, especially as a beginner. Um, I'm gonna hopefully try to go to like more tournaments and stuff for Tekken 8 and see how things go. Probably won't go crazy at first, but give it a couple months, give it a year or so. Maybe you guys see me out there cooking on the Lee hopefully as well. So that would be cool. I definitely want to just like have this video out as proof that like things aren't impossible. Like although it's only red rank, like it's an achievement that I really wanted to get there, so I'm really happy about it. And I guess finally, like I'm just gonna take a break from Tekken 8 for now because I played the game since release. Like I played for like 8 days straight, 9 days straight. You know, I've literally only played Tekken and I've gotten like 140 something hours in the game. Like fucking hell. Like I need to like go outside, go to hit the gym, like do some other stuff now because just take a small break, play some other games. Because it's a well-deserved break for sure. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and hopefully get some inspiration from it, get some tips from it. Hopefully the tips help everything. And yeah, um, it was a good run so far. But there's always the next goal. So hopefully we'll push onto that very soon. So yeah, for now, take care.